So a few days ago on the channel I put out a video in regards to the downloadable content, the next pack for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the X-Men pack, potentially being delayed, and this was on the back of information we got on the Japanese store. Now of course I know everything that's going on, never made a mistake in my life at all, and what I was doing is trying to force Nintendo's hand and get them to actually release the DLC this year by causing such a large uproar, and I managed to do it. So you can leave your thanks below in the comments for me anyway. But what we'll do in this video is we'll be checking out the most recent video they have released for the X-Men update. So I'm going to actually play through the video first. If you've already seen it, which I imagine most of you already have, then I'll put in a timestamp so you can skip past it. But I'm going to play the video, and then once we've done that we'll break it all down and we'll see what's coming in the patch, and it's coming in round about 10 days or so. But let's jump in and check out the video first, and again there's a timestamp on screen now if you want to skip past this part. Time to So it's a relatively short trailer there, but what we can tell from it, and I'll break this all down a lot more and bring up some screenshots, is of course we're getting 4 new heroes, and I'll go through each of them and the skills we were able to see. I think we see the ultimate skill on most of them. We've got one new game mode which will be Danger Room, and I'll talk about that as well. Pretty certain we'll get a level cap increase, and this ties in with the additional gauntlet levels we will be getting as something that gives that away. From the trailer it doesn't look like there's any new locations or bosses or enemies or anything like that, which is a little bit disappointing. We might get another trailer before it releases, but from this trailer alone it certainly looks to be that way. But let's go in and break down the screenshots now. So what I'll do first is we'll actually run through the heroes and have a quick look at the skills I was able to capture. First character we'll look at then, I think is probably one of the most requested ones I've seen, it is the awesome GAMBIR. So let's check out the skill screenshots we managed to capture. This first one here where he's using his bow staff, this is probably a light or heavy attack by the look of it because it's not too flashy. In GAMBIR he will be playing as a hybrid character, he'll have the bow staff and he'll have the cards that he can throw out as well. On the subject of throwing out the cards, we have this here, a barrage attack where he's firing them all out in a cone direction, so imagine you'll be able to proc ricochet with this, so that should make him really pretty useful. This final attack here, just preceding the screenshot I took, he actually jumps up in the air and throws a series of cards down for slamming down and creates this large AoE, so I'm pretty certain by the looks of it that this will possibly be his extreme attack. We then have Cable next, and I will be honest, this one was a bit of a surprise to me. I expected to see Beast in place of Cable. I was expecting other characters, but I wasn't expecting to see Cable at all. So let's check out his skills. With this first one here then, it looks like he's using telekinesis to fire off his cannon and possibly doing something with his arm and a techno-organic virus as well. You can see like tendrils in a way coming off him there, so I'm interested to see more of that particular skill set. We then have what looks to be your standard close range trash cleaning skill. A few heroes have got this, we let off a huge AoE explosion round them, and generally this move will be used to take out minions. The final ability here is another one that I believe could possibly be the extreme attack because it looks pretty awesome. You get a series of cannons that are all firing down on a central area, and it looks like Cable's actually directing some of his attacks towards that central area as well. So yeah, pretty sure this will be an extreme attack. Next up we have Bobby the Iceman Drake. If you're a Marvel Heroes fan you know what that means, and his abilities actually look really pretty amazing, so let's dive in and check them out. The first one here actually is pretty standard looking, he's just slamming down and creating a big ice wall in front of the enemies, but it's the next few abilities that look really great. With this one here then, he's got a ranged attack, so he's calling down a huge ice glaze here, and once it hits the ground it creates a huge explosion there. The final ability here, which is a complete work of art, and once again I'm certain this will probably be an extreme attack. He seems to just morph into a larger version of Iceman and then he starts slamming down, and the visuals for this one do look really nice. Final character we have then is Phoenix, and she is one that I believe she was certain to be included in the pack. There's no way they couldn't include her, so let's dive in. This first ability we've got here is your standard dash attacks. This will be most likely to break the stagger guide. Generally your dash attacks are used for that. In this one here I couldn't get a great screenshot because it actually went by really fast, but it looks like she's causing a huge explosion and potentially lifting up the enemies as well, so there may be a form of crowd control within that. The final ability then, I'm pretty certain this will be the extreme attack. She creates a huge whirlwind, so thankfully it's not just your bog standard whirlwind which so many characters have. It's a really huge one, takes up a vast majority of the screen, all the flames fire around it, and then there's a phoenix that slams into the middle of it as well, so this looks pretty great. But that is the 4 characters and the skills we got to see. Let's check out the new mode now, and this will be the danger room. So with this mod we do have a couple of screenshots, but it's not entirely clear how this will actually play out, but I've got a suspicion from the screenshots it looks to be a PvP mode, but I reckon it's one you could possibly play with bots as well. The reason I say that is a screenshot in the moment that says you can compete against friends or foes, but let's check out an additional screenshot which tells us a bit more. With this screenshot here then we can see we've got 2 teams of 4. Now I'm pretty certain it is full PvP, because if you look, each of the teams you've got a little crown icon above one of the characters. It's ICEMAN on the left and then it would be Psylocke on the right, so that's going to be your party leader. Now you can also see party chat up the top left as well there, so again pretty certain it will be a PvP mode, but the option will be there to run it with bots. The way it looks like it's going to actually work is if you look at the top right, it's telling you conditions for beating the level. So in round 1 you find and defeat the Green Goblin, in round 2 you beat all bosses, and then round 3 you got to defeat the most enemies. So the fact there's 3 rounds would say to me that potentially this is a best out of 3 thing. It's going to be timed and whoever beats the round the fastest gets the point. How it works in regards to playing it at the same time or playing it together, I'm not quite sure, and we'll need to wait a few more days or potentially until we get a further video to find out about that. Now in regards to new locations or enemies, unfortunately it doesn't look like we have anything like that, but they have added in some elements of the danger room and I'll bring them up as well. So we've got some debuffs and hazards it mentions here. This is the Wakandan stage and it's aim you're going up against, and there's a huge hydraulic press which is slamming down that you need to avoid. We then got another Wakandan level, and actually we have got a new enemy type in that you'll go up against Nova characters, but we have seen them in game already, and there's some kind of huge lightning sphere as well there. But that's the danger room. Let's check out the gauntlet now. So this is a game mode that I really wish wasn't returning, to be honest. I'd much rather would see Infinity Rifts. I just like the setup of them so much more, and there's less loading screens. With the gauntlet as well, I'm really hoping they change the way that when you play for it for the first time after you complete that first rotation, that it kicks you back to the start and then you need to go through it another 2-3 times in order to get all the stars. So I'm hoping it will allow you, if you've got characters strong enough, to just keep burning your way through it the first time, so fingers crossed. Now from the final screenshot we have here for phase 3, you can see that Phoenix Aftermath is level 180 now. With the Curse of the Vampire DLC, the final stage was level 120 and the level cap was increased to level 150 with that. So I'm fairly certain we're going to get an increased level cap all the way up to level 200. Don't really feel it's needed at all, to be honest, and it just feels like a way of artificially extending the life of the game, because it's just the same grind and you're going to equip all your white ISOs and you're just going to go back to Wakanda and you're going to do exactly the same thing you've been doing before to level your characters there. So yeah, slightly indifferent about the level cap. It doesn't excite me in any way. If we maybe get new skills on the back of it, then yes, it would be awesome, but otherwise it's just your stats going a little bit higher to compensate for the fact that the enemy stats are going to be a little bit higher as well. But that's a gauntlet mode. Let's check out some information on the final piece of DLC. So at the moment in the game there's actually space for 9 different characters, so we know 4 are coming with the X-Men pack, and then for the Fantastic Four it has to be 4 as well, but it looks like the final spot will be taken up by Doom, given the name of the Fantastic Four pack is going to be Shadow of Doom, so that'll be pretty awesome, and hopefully he'll be a really difficult character to unlock, and he'll hopefully be really powerful as well as a result of that. But that's everything we managed to find out from the trailer. Does look nice, but I'm definitely tempering my expectations because I've already touched on it to an extent, but there's no new enemy types. I don't think we're going to get any kind of new story, and I'm pretty certain by story they're just referring to the small little snippets of text during the gauntlet, and that for me is really disappointing. There's no new locations or bosses or anything like that, so yeah, my expectations definitely are tempered, and I would recommend you actually do the same as well. But it's not long to go until the pack's out. It's actually 10 days, so let me know in the comments below what you think of the X-Men trailer and analysis, if you agree or disagree, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.